As a guy, there's certain things that I can't live without, especially as a guy who cares about fitness, the way they look, and how they dress. So here's everything that I wish that I bought sooner. The first thing are satiating foods. I know, a little bit random, but summer is right around the corner, and I'm sure there's a lot of guys who could relate to this. I didn't really stick to my diet, but for the last week, I finally have been. And of course, a week isn't nearly long enough to see any good results, but summer's still right around the corner, and there's still a little bit of time to get a little bit leaner. And the best way to go about this is satiating foods. All this really means is foods that are gonna keep you full. The best way to use this is find foods, one, that you enjoy, and two, are gonna make you full enough where you don't feel like you're starving and you're just craving more food. So if you need help with this, here's a list of some of the most satiating foods. I look for foods that are lower in calories and are gonna keep me very full. Potatoes are a great example of this. And no, you should not be scared of carbs. Just look for high protein foods. Like I said, these foods can help you get leaner, of course, if you stay in a calorie deficit. And this entire video is gonna be exactly that. Things that are gonna help you look better and overall just be more aesthetic. And if you really wanna be an aesthetic guy, you gotta start focusing on skincare. This is one of the best things to focus on, especially if you're just starting your journey. And that's because the skin is one of the first things that people notice about you. And take it from me, I've tried so many different products. I tried so many different routines. And here's the best tip that I can give you. Stick to something simple so that way you are actually gonna follow through with this routine every single morning and every single night. Because at the end of the day, the number one thing that matters is consistency. And it is hard to be consistent if you have 100 different products right in front of you. So here's exactly what I use. Every morning and night, I use a daily cleanser. The best affordable option is this one from The Ordinary, and they also have some serums that I use on a daily basis. If you struggle with dry skin, I really recommend hyaluronic acid. I use this every morning and it gives my skin this kind of glow, and ever since I've been using it, I've been getting a ton of compliments. You could also use niacinamide. This is going to help balance out your skin, especially if you struggle with pigmentation or just uneven skin tones. This is going to help a ton. I use this one right before going to sleep. The next thing I can't live without are good travel essentials. If you want to be known as a more interesting guy, going out and traveling is the best thing you could do. And I'm pretty blessed to say that I do travel quite a bit. And it doesn't matter where you go, you should always strive to be an aesthetic guy everywhere you go. And that's why I really recommend getting travel gear that not only looks aesthetic, but helps you pack everything that you need. As of lately, all my travel gear comes from Away, which is today's video sponsor. For my luggage, I went with their bigger carry-on in this beautiful cloud gray. This thing is honestly just an absolute beauty. It has these 360 rotating wheels that makes walking with it just so easy. And here's everything that I pack whenever I travel. So on the right side is where I pack all my clothing, and this really does fit everything from bigger jackets, bulky sweaters, and of course just your absolute essentials. On the left side, I use this for my more bulky items, so things like shoes, my toiletry bag, belts, anything like that. Then when you zip this up, you could travel with a peace of mind because this thing has a code on it. I was also able to get my hands on the Everywhere bag. This bag is perfect for any everyday carry. I've even been taking this to small trips to places like the beach. Everything from Away has small features designed to make it even more practical, and these things just have such an aesthetic design, yet it's still fully functional. And the thing that I'm most impressed with is just how durable these things feel. These things are no joke. If you're in the market to upgrade your travel essentials, you could use this QR code right here, or you could use the first link in the description. Using either one of these is going to get you 10% off your first order, so make sure to check them out because these things are just so sick. All right, the next thing that I can't live without is my phone, which is pretty much everybody nowadays, but unlike everybody else, I really strive to make this a tool and less of a distraction. And trust me, I've been there, just spending hours on my phone doing absolutely nothing productive. So here's exactly how I set up mine to make sure that I'm not easily distracted. First thing I recommend is this app called Opal. This is what I use to block out any apps like Instagram, TikTok, or anything like that. Then the way I set up my home screen, I have everything that I need at a glance. I even have them in pages like finance, social media, because that's what I do as a job. As far as the actual phone, I have the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I am really happy with this because the battery on this thing lasts a while. The camera is so good, and honestly, I do think it's more aesthetic without a case, but I found out it's not as aesthetic to have a broken phone, so finally got myself a case. The one that I've been using the most is this leather one from Nomad, which I think just pairs perfectly with all my other leather accessories. Not only is it going to keep my phone from breaking even more, but it also looks just a little bit more aesthetic. And to truly be a better looking guy, the next thing you should focus on is quality clothing. This was actually my first step to gain more confidence because growing up, I was a super insecure guy. So I started looking through some outfits and different brands so I could shop at to really upgrade my wardrobe. And my number one brand for this is Abercrombie Fitch. I actually ended up picking up a few more things from them, and I definitely love these pickups. Now, since we are in the warmer weather, let's start off with linen. The one that I've been wearing the most is this camp collared shirt. This has a little bit more of a boxy fit, but it's still slim. I love this color, and since it's a linen blend, it's a lot more comfortable than just 100% linen. I also love these linen shorts. I got them in this beige color. This is gonna go with any other color that I have in my wardrobe, so I'm definitely gonna be wearing this a lot. Olive green is one of my favorite colors. When I saw this long sleeve linen shirt, I instantly knew I had to pick this up. I actually got this one in a size medium. For reference, I'm 5'8", 170 pounds. This thing fits a little bit loose, which I think just looks so cool. Kind of gives me a beach bum kind of vibe, but yet still put together and a little bit old money. If you're just gonna pick up 3 new pieces for your summer wardrobe, I definitely think it should be these 3. Now, clothing isn't the only thing you need to focus on if you really want to be the best dressed guy out of all your friends. So in order to upgrade any outfit, you gotta start focusing on accessories as well. Now, the first place I recommend starting with is a watch, and obviously watches can get crazy expensive. So here's one that literally only costs $50 and it's guaranteed to get you compliments. That is this Casio AQ230. This is such an interesting watch because it has both an analog and a digital dial. And for the simple reason that it's $50, I wear this every day because I'm not scared of banging this up. I'm not scared of losing it. Only thing I'm worried about is getting water on it because digital watches obviously aren't waterproof. But I consider this my daily beater when it comes to watches, and I've just gotten a ton of compliments with it. You could also throw in a bracelet. Again, these don't have to be expensive. You could literally just go on Amazon, find some good alternatives. It's a simple accessory that looks good anywhere you go. Same thing with the chain. You can get some gold plated ones or some sterling silver. Either option looks really good. Now, these are obviously the accessories that go into your outfit, but underrated accessories that you don't see but are more so a part of you are things like your wallets and keys. And that's because most guys, their wallets and keys are just so bulky. So if you really want to look more mature and put together, you could upgrade these with slimmer versions. So instead of a bulky wallet, go with a slim card holder. And instead of having your keys just dangling, get something like a key organizer. I really like this one because it has Find My Right in it, and it just looks so sleek and professional. And every single time I pull out my keys, I always get questions, what is that? So it's a pretty fun conversation piece. Now, here's something that I always make sure that I wear every day. That is a good cologne. There's no point of having a good physique, looking good, and everything else if you just smell bad. No one is going to want to be around you. So always making sure that you smell good with a good cologne is just so important. I would say out of my entire collection, my favorite one is still YSL Myself. I feel like I could wear this anywhere. It's slightly sweet. I would say it's very masculine. So to this day, this is the #1 cologne that I do recommend. This next item is definitely part of my everyday carry, and that is this pair of Sony XM5s. For me, this is the headphones that I wear absolutely everywhere. To the gym, at a coffee shop, or even just sitting at home working. This pair of headphones is genuinely the most comfortable and high quality headphones I've ever had. I love the noise cancellation on this. Battery life lasts a while. And here's the best part. I didn't pay full price for this. Instead of going out and buying a brand new pair at Best Buy, I went on Amazon, got a refurbished pair, and you couldn't even tell that this thing came pre-owned. So when it comes to summer electronics, especially these headphones, Amazon refurbished is definitely the move. Now, there's one thing that I really do not want to admit, and that is the fact that I lose everything. So I genuinely don't think that I can't live without some tracking tech. Like I said, my keys already have these. I use AirTags a ton, and arguably the most important one for me is a tracking card that I put inside my wallet. First of all, you can't even tell that this card's in there because it is so slim. This one is from Eufy. I think it's around $20. It works with Find My. As far as tech goes, this is the best $20 that I've spent. Now, out of everything in my entire life, there is one thing that I use the absolute most, and that is my PC. This is where I work and where I spend pretty much my entire day sometimes, and this PC is an absolute tank. Now, in all honesty, I'm not much of a tech guy. So even if I say that this thing has an Intel i9 processor, 64 gigabytes of RAM, and a 4070 Ti, I genuinely have no idea what that means. I'm mostly saying it because I always get questions about what's inside my PC. Again, I know nothing of tech, but what I do know is this thing runs every program that I need, which is really just Premiere Pro, Photoshop, and a few other things that I use to make videos. Now, I don't think this version is for sale anymore, but I know when I bought it at the time, it was highly respected. So even though it was a pre-built, I know some people are against pre-builts. I am so glad I bought this thing. That being said, I am considering a Mac Mini. I've been on the fence going completely into the Apple ecosystem, and I'm practically already there. The only thing that I don't have is my personal computer being Windows instead of Mac, so highly considering it. If you're a tech guy, let me know what you think. And then where I hold my desk and pretty much everything else is this desk that I usually just spend my entire day at. This one is from FlexiSpot. It has plenty of space. This thing just feels sturdy. And since I have so much expensive tech on here, I didn't want to just buy the cheapest desk I could find, because if it just crumbled on me and broke a few things, then I'd be way worse off than just investing the money into a good durable desk. And this one from FlexiSpot, I have absolutely no complaints about. Now, of course, when I say I can't live without these things, that's just because I genuinely use these things every single day. Of course, they're not really the bare minimum, but if you do want to know the bare minimum, here are 10 things that every guy needs.